The Highguard disaster is going pretty crazy. There's new information being revealed every single day. Now, this game launched with no marketing done and it got absolutely review bombed. Massive layoffs that they announced. Devs are blaming the players and the content creators. And then now, with the recent info, they apparently has some secret Tencent backing. And now the game is basically fighting for survival. So what actually happened with Highguard? Let's just jump into it. Now, Highguard was developed by Wildlife Studios, which is a bunch of veteran developers, and they are known for many other games. And this game was supposed to be like a successor to games like Apex Legends and stuff. And a lot of people thought that this game is going to be lightning in a bottle because at the end of the Game Awards, they actually had the final huge reveal. Imagine that. Final slot usually is a massive exposure, and the game launched was gonna be a little bit after. So of course, a lot of people were excited, and a lot of people did show up for the game, but not only because of the excitement around it, but also because a lot of the drama around regarding the game before it even launched, because the game didn't have any type of marketing. So people were wondering, like, is this game even going to be launching? I even made a video talking about, like, I don't know if this game would launch or it's like a crazy marketing strategy, but it did launch. And on launch, the game got review bomb because it had a bunch of problems, but also because people maybe just wanted to dislike it because of all the excitement and hype that it was built through not marketing at all. But I think main reason was the game wasn't as promised. It wasn't as crazy as people expected and as people were hyping it up to be, and there was a bunch of issues early on too, and the game only had one type of game mode, so people were not really happy with the game and people were review bombing it. However, they did get some insane amount of player numbers, so people were like, yeah, maybe they will stay, maybe they will keep playing the game. And I'm gonna be real, if the game was really revolutionary and exciting, people would have stayed and played the game. That's the reality. No matter review bomb or whatever, once people play the game, which they did, and they realize, wait, this game is actually fun, people will play it. So that is where basically the drama exploded, because people were like, yeah, I'm not going to be playing this. The numbers actually dropped 90%. Over 90% of players quit the game within the 24 hours. That is nuts. Not even 24 hours. I think way less than that. And now recently they announced a massive layoff. Yes, there was a massive layoff. They're losing a bunch of the developers. I don't exactly know how many are left, but it seems like they did not expect the game to do this bad. So basically announced a massive layoff. Now this is where things get interesting, because certain people or a developer made out and went crazy. He crashed out on who? On us, on players, on content creators, and saying that it is our fault that we helped GG the game. Not them, but us. So let me just get this straight. You launch a game, right? You launch a game, you don't do any marketing, you don't do any proper testing, you don't get feedback, you don't do any overview, you don't explain anything about the game until the day of the launch. And then because your game is not good enough and people don't like it, it is our fault. It's our mistake that your game is not good enough. Because at the end of the day, the amount of hype that was created around this game, because of your marketing strategy by not talking about the game, people were talking about it. People were like, oh, is it going to be released? You were getting some crazy marketing. There's no way you would get these amount of numbers, these numbers that you guys got on launch day of the game. Many companies pay millions for. We got it for free. So all you had to do was deliver a good product. Because we were excited. We were like, oh, what is this drama about? What is happening with this game? Let's test it out. And then we played and they were like, oh my God, this game is amazing. But it wasn't. And now you're going to blame us. Now this guy has went out and he has deleted the post because of the backlash, of course. But it is actually insane to me blaming players and content creators for your game not delivering on the promises. And this is why you usually have beta tests. This is why you collect feedbacks, do surveys, test the game, talk about the game, because then you would know if your game is ass or not before you even launch it. Crazy, right? It's not like this is the template every other games and companies use. No, this is exactly the template they use because they know they need feedback to make a good game. So that was really interesting that he did that, and then he deleted the post and didn't take any criticism or accountability. And I think a lot of the issues around the game was there was too many yes men around the game. People were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! This is exciting!" That is a problem. You need to make sure that you are getting good, constructive feedback on your game before you launch it. Either from the people making the game, it's really hard when you're making the game because you're passionate about the project, right? But you have to learn that what type of game people really want. You know, people are kind of tired of these shooter games, and the way you guys made is hero shooters. People are not that excited for these games anymore. There's so many of them. You know, you need to learn what do people want to play, what do you guys want to develop, and what kind. If you want to make a hero developer or a hero shooter, you need to know what people are looking for, what they're lacking in other games. You can't just make a bland experience and just think that, oh my god, people are going to be extremely hyped around this game. No, that's not how it works. You know, that's how games fail. You guys were just lucky that you had a crazy launch. Now, this is where things get really interesting though, because recently we had a Tencent reveal. Yes, everybody thought that it was just a group of veteran developers. We know the guy Geoff, he made a post around of the game, like the showcase on Game Awards, and people were like, we don't think he got paid for this. I don't think the game has the money for it. I think it was a passion project. Right? No, not exactly. So reports have revealed that the game was actually quietly backed by a subsidiary of Tencent. Yes, Tencent, the big company. Who would have thought? So they had, it seems like, a lot of money. Now, these are based off reports and articles, but it wasn't just a small passion project. It seems like they had hella money backing this, and it wasn't just like these really passionate developers. Yeah, it wasn't that. And that changes the narrative for me, at least, because I know Tencent. I play some Tencent games, and I know how much money they have and how predatory they are with their marketing, the way they do it. So it's very interesting that they didn't talk about this at all until now, right? Because why is that? Huh? Why don't you want to associate with Tencent? I wonder why. So that makes it much more interesting. So did Tencent pay for the last reveal? Did they say on purpose that we don't want to associate with the game? We don't want people to find out this is a Tencent game? You know, we can make a lot of speculations around why. Have they said anything? And how much money did they actually make? And maybe that's also limited the developers because Tencent wanted to, you know, steer the game in their own way. I mean, we can speculate around that, right? So now, just weeks after launch, we have most of the studios are laid off. Small team are left to keep the game running. The website apparently went dark, sparking shutdown fears. The server's still online for now. I think it has like 1K players playing at most. But the long-term future for the game is pretty uncertain, and I don't think it's gonna last. Let's be real. I mean, the Highguard went from like Game Award spotlight to survival mode in a record time almost, in my opinion. So if you guys want to know why I think the Highguard failed, many things. Like, let's be real, too many things. Too much hype and excitement, going into a genre that people are not too excited for, and doing the exact same thing, just being bland. And then player retention issues, no marketing, no feedback, no overviews about the game, and then defensive communication from the devs, and then blaming it on players instead of just taking criticism. So in my opinion, they had a phenomenal chance right here to make something crazy. If the game, like I was saying, was really good and actually delivered, you already got insane amount of players testing out your game. But the game wasn't good enough. Take the criticism, guys. Learn from it. And next time, maybe do a little bit more research before launching your game. And maybe announce, if you are getting backed by a big company like Tencent, maybe announce that, hey, we are partnered with Tencent, by the way. You know? Like, nobody knew before now. So yeah, maybe let people know. Thank you so much for watching. This is a new channel, so make sure you guys thumbs up, subscribe, check this video right here, and I'll see you guys next time.